The Garden of Eden is described so beautifully in the Bible that everyone has envisioned it as the perfect place to live. Many have tried to discover the Garden of Eden, but to their disappointment, it was never found. However, that all just changed when a certain scientist made the biggest discovery of his lifetime. After numerous failed attempts, a recent expedition claims to have deciphered its location, potentially unveiling the long-lost paradise. Could this revelation be genuine? Has the legendary Garden of Eden finally been unearthed? Archaeologists have just made what could be the most significant discovery in human history: the legendary Garden of Eden, the divine paradise given to Adam and Eve by God. For generations, historians and scholars have tirelessly searched for the supposed location of this legendary garden, but their quests always ended in disappointment. That is, until now. A team of archaeologists led by Dr. John Smith has finally succeeded in finding the Garden of Eden. Dr. Smith, who has dedicated years to studying ancient texts and artifacts, made the groundbreaking discovery after stumbling upon a cave in northern Iraq. Within this cave, he and his colleagues uncovered a vast network of underground tunnels, revealing the long-lost paradise that has captured humanity's imagination for centuries. After weeks of research, the team uncovered a huge cavern with a waterfall and vibrant green fruits and plants. They realized immediately that this tunnel was exceptional. The plants were genetically different from known species and remarkably similar to those described in the Bible. Ancient artifacts found in the cave date back to when Eden would have existed, but that's not even the most exciting part. The cave featured unique plant life never seen before, contrasting with the researchers' experience. The artifacts were ancient evidence of a primeval time, and the researchers marveled at the discovery. The Garden of Eden is described so beautifully in the Bible that everyone has envisioned it as the perfect place to live. Many have tried to discover the Garden of Eden, but to their disappointment, it was never found. However, that all just changed when a certain scientist made the biggest discovery of his lifetime. After numerous failed attempts, a recent expedition claims to have deciphered its location, potentially unveiling the long-lost paradise. Could this revelation be genuine? Has the legendary Garden of Eden finally been unearthed? Archaeologists have just made what could be the most significant discovery in human history: the legendary Garden of Eden, the divine paradise given to Adam and Eve by God. For generations, historians and scholars have tirelessly searched for the supposed location of this legendary garden, but their quests always ended in disappointment. That is, until now. A team of archaeologists led by Dr. John Smith has finally succeeded in finding the Garden of Eden. Dr. Smith, who has dedicated years to studying ancient texts and artifacts, made the groundbreaking discovery after stumbling upon a cave in northern Iraq. Within this cave, he and his colleagues uncovered a vast network of underground tunnels, revealing the long-lost paradise that has captured humanity's imagination for centuries. After weeks of research, the team uncovered a huge cavern with a waterfall and vibrant green fruits and plants. They realized immediately that this tunnel was exceptional. The plants were genetically different from known species and remarkably similar to those described in the Bible. Ancient artifacts found in the cave date back to when Eden would have existed, but that's not even the most exciting part. The cave featured unique plant life never seen before, contrasting with the researchers' experience. The artifacts were ancient evidence of a primeval time, and the researchers marveled at the discovery. The Bible paints Eden as a perfect paradise with beautiful plants and sparkling rivers. Genesis says Eden lay to the east, a lovely and pure place where the first humans lived peacefully with nature, in total harmony with their environment and each other. The garden had 4 rivers: Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates. Its climate was mild year-round, like an eternal spring, with always blossoming flowers and forever ripe fruit. Eden's trees bore abundant fresh fruit every season. According to the Bible, the garden was home to every sort of visually appealing and nutritious tree, including the trees of life and the knowledge of good and evil. The Garden of Eden is depicted as a stunning location with a wide diversity of plants and animals, where tigers, bears, lions, and other wild creatures lived in harmony with Adam and Eve. This groundbreaking discovery raises the question everyone has been eagerly waiting to ask. Where is this garden located? Solving this puzzle has borne no fruit for millennia. People have searched far and wide for the legendary Garden of Eden, some seeing it as an actual spot on earth, others believing it symbolizes spiritual wholeness. Yet for many, locating Eden has proved pointless. Its whereabouts have inspired countless speculations, with guesses ranging across the Middle East, Africa, and even the Americas. The mystery lingers on. Some scholars assume the Garden of Eden was destroyed by a natural disaster like an earthquake or a flood, while others believe it was submerged underwater. One widely held belief is that the Garden of Eden was located in Mesopotamia, in what is now Iraq. This hypothesis is based on the idea that the rivers flowing through Iraq, the Tigris and Euphrates, are the same as those flowing through the Garden of Eden. Archaeological data suggests this region may have been home to some of the oldest civilizations in human history. Another hypothesis places the Garden of Eden in Africa, specifically around the Nile River, with some academics considering the rivers Pishon and Gihon to be references to the Nile and its tributaries. The idea that the Garden of Eden is located in Africa is supported by the Bible, and some of the oldest human remains discovered there are often linked to the creation story of Adam and Eve. However, Dr. Smith's recent findings suggest that the Garden of Eden is in northern Iraq, near Turkey and Iran. The cave system his team uncovered is thought to be the entrance described in the Bible. However, there is more room for speculation. Another perspective, proposed by Ter Stalin, places Eden in Lebanon, based on passages from the Book of Ezekiel. Ancient texts draw connections between the Garden of Eden, paradise, and Lebanon's forests. Scholars like Edward Lipinski and Peter Kyle McCarter even suggest that a Sumerian version of Eden might have been a mountain sanctuary in the Lebanon ranges. Unbelievable, right? Different religious groups have various theories about Eden's location, often claiming it is local to them. Mormons believe it's in Jackson County, Missouri. Can you believe that? The Pan-Aryan Society in the 20th century claimed that it was in Bedford, England, and preacher L.V.E. Calloway thought it was near Bristol, Florida, on the Apalachicola River. Jerusalem is another suggested location, and Christopher Columbus thought he found earthly paradise in South America during his 1498 voyage. San Tai argued that Eden was in present-day Xinjiang, China in his book. Speculation about Eden's location also includes a gate discovered in Israel, which might mark the entrance to this lost paradise. In Tel Lachish National Park, near Mount Hebron, an 8th century BC shrine supports biblical accounts of King Hezekiah's religious reforms. This excavation, led by the Jerusalem Heritage and Environmental Protection Ministry, the Nature and Parks Authority, and the Israel Antiquities Authority, uncovered a significant gate from the First Temple period, the largest found in Israel. Its size and the city's historical importance are significant. The Bible describes city gates as central gathering places for elders, judges, and leaders. During the dig, researchers found benches and various artifacts like jars, grain, and scoops, some bearing the king's seal. 2 jar handles were marked with a horn seal, indicating they belonged to the king of Hebron. While some view the site as mythical, others believe it's based on actual locations. For many, the Garden of Eden is more than a physical place. It symbolizes a spiritual journey towards redemption and enlightenment. The story of Adam and Eve represents lost innocence and purity. Despite its biblical references, some question Eden's existence. However, dismissing it as mere myth overlooks the possibility that it was a real place, named and created by God. Just because it hasn't been found yet doesn't mean it never existed. The Bible mentions the Garden of Eden multiple times. For instance, the Tree of Life in Genesis is also referenced in Revelation 22, 1-3. Finding the Garden of Eden would be incredibly significant. First, it would support the idea that this legendary garden was real, a topic of many myths and theories. Secondly, it offers a new perspective on the story of Adam and Eve's exile. This discovery prompts scholars to re-examine the narrative and its meaning. Earlier in Revelation, Jesus refers to the tree of life again. The tree that Adam was barred from after his sin is the same tree we will be allowed to eat from forever. Finding the Garden of Eden is crucial for potential environmental reasons as well. The plants in the discovered cave are genetically different from known species, which could help develop disease-resistant crops adaptable to various climates. Searching for the Garden of Eden is difficult and doesn't always yield results. It could also help protect the unique ecosystem in and around Cave Hill. Despite extensive research, there's no concrete evidence that the Garden of Eden ever existed. The story is rooted in religious texts without scientific proof. Geological changes over millions of years could have erased any physical traces of the garden. Natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, or erosion might have destroyed it. The recent discovery of what might be the Garden of Eden in northern Iraq raises new questions about the story of Adam and Eve. It also offers opportunities for further research into ancient cultures, agriculture, and the environment. There have been many theories about the garden's location, some suggesting it can be found by following biblical descriptions. The Bible describes a river flowing from Eden that split into 4 rivers: Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates. The Pishon River encircles the land of Havilah, rich in gold, onyx, and crystal. Gihon flows through the entire land of Cush. Tigris runs east of Assyria, and the 4th river is the Euphrates. The renowned biblical scholar Rashi identifies the Pishon as the Nile River, explaining that Pishon means gushing forth and overflowing, fitting the description of the Nile. The Nile River, which would overflow and irrigate Egypt, is one candidate for the Pishon River mentioned in the Bible. The Hebrew word Pishon, meaning flax, also connects to the flax industry fed by the Nile in ancient Egypt. In pre-dynastic times, Egyptians mined gold and precious stones in Nubia, now southern Egypt, and Sudan. Thus, Havilah might refer to the Nile region, possibly Egypt or Sudan. Some believe the Pishon is the Ganges River, flowing through Bangladesh and India into the Bay of Bengal. This aligns with Yonatan ben Uziel's translation, which equates Havilah with Hindki, an ancient name for India. Josephus thought it referred to the Indus River, linking it to modern Havilah between Pakistan and Kashmir. The Gihon, often associated with the land of Cush, is thought to be the Blue Nile. The Blue Nile starts in Lake Tana in Ethiopia, merging with the White Nile in Khartoum, Sudan, then flowing to Egypt. Radak, a 12th century commentator, said Gihon means to diverge, mirroring the Blue Nile's tributaries. The 3rd river, Hiddekel, is widely accepted as the Tigris River, which flows from Turkey through Iraq to the Persian Gulf. The prophet Daniel mentioned standing by this river during his exile in Babylonia, modern-day Iraq. The Tigris is still called Dicle in Turkish and Dijla in Arabic, supporting the identification of Ashur as ancient Assyria, centered around the Tigris. The 4th river, Perat, is the Euphrates River, running parallel to the Tigris. The Euphrates is known from ancient times and mentioned in God's promise to Abraham about the land of Israel. Historically, Jewish civilization spread to the Euphrates banks. While the Tigris and Euphrates are well identified, the exact locations of the Pishon and Gihon remain debated. The Garden of Eden holds significance in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Jewish tradition sees Eden as both a celestial and terrestrial place. The celestial garden is where righteous souls go after death, while the terrestrial Eden was the paradise for Adam and Eve. The Torah describes it as a place of innocence and harmony until Adam and Eve disobeyed God. And did you know that in Islam, the Garden of Eden, or Jannah, is a heaven with perpetual gardens? It's a paradise where the righteous live in mansions with streams and angels. According to the Quran, Adam fell to earth from this garden, landing on Serendib. The Quran mentions only one tree in Eden, the tree of immortality, unlike the Bible's tree of knowledge. Many scholars argue that the Garden of Eden is a myth, pointing to its river system as evidence. Some suggest it is a retelling of Mesopotamian stories about city gardens of the gods. The Sumerians called the floodplain Eden, where gods built city gardens for food. Humans were created to maintain these gardens as slaves, not out of divine love. The gods created humans to avoid the hard work of gardening. Therefore, humans were denied immortality to ensure they remained laborers. The Genesis story of Eden might be a reinterpretation of these older myths, explaining humanity's creation and purpose. Overall, finding the Garden of Eden would have significant implications for history, culture, and religion. While the search continues, the myth remains a powerful symbol across many traditions. Theories and controversies come and go, but when it comes to finding Eden, it's something we can only dream of.